Hello there, everybody. Bunneh here, and I'd like to tell you all a story. The fifth thieving story involving ESO's favorite titular thieving character, to be precise. I'm talking about the one and only Chichichicheetah and his trusty sidekick Boondock. You see, the Elder Scrolls Online has always been host to a lot of unique events over the years, whether they be seasonal, anniversary celebrations, XP farms, or predatory monetary cash grabs, but never before has it introduced something quite like this. I'm talking about the Crime Wave event, a 5-day event purely dedicated to committing crimes like stealing things and murder. Basically, this event encourages one to partake in ESO's criminal system, and actually rewards you for having a high bounty and heat. But, in classic Zoss fashion, none of the specifics were known. Is 1,000 bounty enough, or is 100,000 bounty enough? Well, like America's great forefathers once said,
nobody knows.
What I did know was that I needed to build a considerably high bounty, complete daily quests for the Thieves Guild and Dark Brotherhood, and rob the shit out of ESO's citizens during this event to acquire the coveted pouches of ill-gotten goods. These bad boys were set to contain several valuable things, but the most notable were going to be furnishing items and tradable consumables for Ledger Domain XP. Now the good news was, I knew about this Crime Wave event about a week in advance, which gave me the time that I needed to begin planning my heist. So first things first, I want to describe a new ability to help out with the bounty grind that I was about to subject myself to. I needed something that would provide some healing and negate some of the immobilization effects I might sustain from NPCs, most notably from guards in case I got caught. This is where the murrrrderrr ability came into play. I was able to scribe it in a way that made me immune to certain CCs, healed me every few seconds, and generated ultimate while in combat. This ability would come in clutch for the upcoming grinds for bounty, which started in Deshawn. I was unsure how to best approach this, so I just figured I would start murdering everything in sight and see where it went. This worked, but it was way too slow, inconsistent, and dangerous with how many guards were around. I decided to try another method of repeatedly lockpicking something in front of an NPC and purposely failing it to build bounty. This method did indeed work, but the caveat was that it didn't build that much bounty each time, and at a certain point the NPC would get pissed off and attack me, which kind of ruined the method. I began to research better ways online when I came across this random post on Reddit discussing this place in Grotwood called South Point. Apparently, this place was incredible for building bounty because there was a ton of NPCs around, and best of all, no guards. To gain full access to this place, though, I had to complete the Grip of Madness quest, and if I'm being honest, I had no fucking clue what was going on. I was unpolymorphing bear scouts, dodging lightning strikes, and going head-to-head with the Oprah Winfrey of ESO.
You get the lightning! Now you
Anyways, flash forward 10 minutes and I had the quest complete, and let's just say that it was worth every second. This place was loaded with innocent NPCs, all ripe for murder. The only issue was, these NPCs couldn't be initially damaged by AoEs, and had to be single-target DPS, which for our feline friend was a difficult endeavor. A lot of these NPCs would end up getting away, which drastically dropped the amount of bounty I was able to accrue. Well, that, and the fact that these groups of NPCs all had spawn cooldowns. So even though I had found a good spot to farm NPCs, all of the downtime between fights was really inefficient. I needed something to do between waves that was spammable and semi-AFKable to make the grind a little bit less intense. That's when I remembered that vampire abilities all count as criminal activities, meaning if I were to use one in front of an NPC, it would accrue bounty. The only problem was, all of these abilities required a target NPC, which would negate my criteria of spammable and semi-AFKable. That is, all except for one. The third vampire ability, called Sated Fury, was the holy grail that I had been looking for. It's a toggleable self-cast ability that can be cast over and over and over again, making it both spammable and semi-AFKable. There were only two downsides to it. One, it cost a boatload of health to cast every time, and two, I needed a non-aggressive NPC to spam it in front of. Luckily, that banner ability I had scribed completely took care of the health loss aspect, but the second part was a bit trickier. First I tried spamming it inside of a fighter's guild where there were no guards, but after a while the NPCs became pissed off and attacked me.
Be gone, night creature.
I tried the same thing inside a mage's guild with the same result. That's when I realized that just outside of South Point, where I was already farming the NPCs, there was a guild trader. This was the absolute perfect place for me to spam this ability, as the guild trader was completely passive, there was no other NPCs around to get agitated, no guards to catch me, and best of all, it was in close proximity to the town that I was already rampaging through. So basically, here's how it all played out. I would start by pillaging the entire town of South Point like a Viking horde, being sure to use other vampire abilities to accrue as much bounty as possible. Then, while all of those NPCs were respawning, I would sit in front of the guild trader outside of town and spam my Sated Fury ability. Out of all of the methods that I had tried so far, this seemed to be the most consistent, easiest, and safest way to quickly build my bounty, although I use the term quickly very loosely. Even with maximum effort, I was only generating about 50,000 bounty every 5 minutes, but oftentimes it was a lot slower than that. As aforementioned, Zos didn't really elaborate on what constitutes as a high bounty for this event, which meant that I had to elevate it to a level that couldn't even be questioned. I settled on the milestone of 3.5 million for my bounty, which if you're doing the math at home, equates out to almost 6 hours of grinding. I did this for 6 hours. 6 fucking hours! I basically clocked in for a work shift to accrue this amount of bounty. But when the event went live on May 1st, I was glad that I had. Alongside what felt like the never-ending grind for bounty, I was beginning to brew up a plan to make as much gold as possible. After all, having a high bounty was only a small portion of this event. The rest came down to grinding out the Thieves Guild and Dark Brotherhood daily quests each day, and locating some notable spots to farm. The daily quests were simple enough, but I still needed an ideal spot to perform my other activities. Oh no, not those activities. That takes place in the sex dungeon. I'm talking about the theft, larceny, burglary, pickpocketing, and murder. According to the event's announcement page, I would receive increased rewards for pickpocketing, murdering, and looting lockboxes, but if I was going to do all of that, I might as well make it worth my while. You see, not all NPCs are created equally in ESO, ranging anywhere from peasants to nobles, with loot scaling accordingly. In addition to that, certain zones have a chance of dropping certain items, some of which are far more valuable than others. I needed to narrow down all of the optimal places to pickpocket and loot safe boxes, and after a bit of research, I was led down an unexpected path. Apparently, the nobles in Somerset have a very small chance of dropping Alinor wall mirrors, which are extremely valuable furnishing items due to the rarity and method of acquisition, that being pickpocketing. With additional research, I stumbled across another item that's even rarer and more valuable than the mirrors, that being the Alinor Table Runner Coiled. This item apparently drops off of clothiers in Alinor, with the wiki page only verifying a single NPC as being able to drop it. So long story short, I had found the city I was going to pickpocket throughout the course of this event, but my reconnaissance work wasn't done yet. I didn't just want to pickpocket some of the nobles and clothiers, I wanted to pickpocket them all. Over the next few days, I explored the entire city of Alinor to tediously locate every single noble and clothier that was available. In case you were curious, there are 12 nobles and 2 clothiers located inside of the city, and 10 nobles located outside the city in the winery. I wasn't entirely sure if the second clothier I had found could actually drop that fancy rug or not, but I figured it wouldn't hurt to pickpocket her each time to be sure. Now here's where being a PC player came in handy. The Harvin's Custom Map Pins mod let me place my own custom map pins on the in-game map, which worked hand in hand with the minimap by Firkin mod. But simply placing generic markers on the map didn't feel quite thievy enough. No, if I was going to plan this heist the right way, I had to develop my own custom map marker, sort of like a calling card. After all, every good thief needs a calling card. So I took a screenshot of our felonious feline friend and got to work designing my very own custom map marker. Flash forwards a bit, and well, the result speaks for itself. Classy. After tinkering with the boring background stuff, I got my custom DDS file imported into the game and was able to use it to mark every single location I had already scoped out. The yellow marks were for the 2 clothiers, the green marks were for buildings with nobles inside, and the purple marks were for nobles that were out in the open. This was going to be my blueprint for the entire event, or at least from the pickpocket side of things. As for the lockbox side of things, I was going to stick with the tried and true Vardenfell loop that I mapped out last video. After all, that loop made me a fucking fortune and I was already really proficient at running it. So now that I had my full plan all mapped out, all that was left was to bide my time until the event dropped on May 1st. Finally, after weeks of research, building bounty, reconnaissance, graphic design, and practice runs, I was confident about 2 things. 1, regardless of what happens, I knew that I had done everything I could to capitalize on this event. And 2, I cannot spell the word reconnaissance for the life of me. I mean, just fucking look at it.
Just look at it.
Did you know there was an A and an I in the middle of that word? Because I sure as hell didn't. One thing's for sure though, being a criminal in a video game has taught me far more than any textbook in school ever did. But crippling life realization aside, I had work to do. If you weren't already able to tell, I'm a bit of a numbers guy, and I had done the math ahead of time to figure out exactly what this grind was going to look like each day. My rough calculations revealed that the Thieves Guild daily would take about 5 minutes, the 2 Dark Brotherhood dailies would take about 10 minutes, the Alinor pickpocket loop would take 15 minutes, and the Vardenfell loop would take about 16 minutes, all adding up to a grand total of around 46 minutes. 46 minutes, each day for 5 days straight. I can handle that.
Show me how to lie, you're getting better all the time, and turning all against one is an art that's hard to teach. Another clever word sets off an unsuspecting herd, and as you step back in the line, a mob jumps to their feet. Now dance, fucker, dance, man, he never had a chance, and no one even knew it was really only you, and now you steal away. Take him out today. Nice work you did. You're gonna go fuck it. With 1,000 lies and a good disguise, hit 'em right between the eyes, hit 'em right between the eyes. When you walk away, nothing more to say. See the lightning in your eyes, see 'em running for their lives. Slowly out of line and drifting closer in your sight, so play it out, I'm wide awake. It's a scene about me. There's something in your way, and now someone is gonna pay. And if you can't get what you want, well, it's all because of me. Now dance, fucker, dance, man, I never had a chance, and no one even knew it was really only you, and now you lead the way. Show the light of day. Nice work you did. You're gonna go fuck it. With 1,000 lies and a good disguise, hit 'em right between the eyes, hit 'em right between the eyes. When you walk away, nothing more to say. See the lightning in your eyes, see 'em running for their
So at this point in the video, you're probably asking yourself, but Bunneh, was it all worth it? Was spending countless hours to rack up a ridiculous bounty and then religiously running the routes every single day actually worth the time investment? The simple answer is absolutely fucking not. To be honest with you, I don't think my high bounty did anything for me. Friends of mine took place in this event with hardly any bounty at all, and they got the same shit that I got. I absolutely shot myself in the foot with this fucking bounty, and it's gonna take a long time for it to eventually go away. But that's alright. I had a lot of fun theory crafting and planning for this event, and there's no denying that I did indeed make a lot of gold in the end. Now, would I have made that same amount of gold allocating those hours of gameplay elsewhere? Probably. But then I wouldn't have had this story to share with all of you, and that's what's important. So with that being said, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, then please be sure to leave it a like down below, subscribe to the channel with notifications on, and please keep leaving me comments because they warm my little Bunneh heart. A special thank you goes out to all of the Bunnehs that support me on Patreon. You guys are amazing and made this video possible with your monthly donations. If you would like to support the channel and the content that I create, you can now do so for as little as $1 a month. Thank you again so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next video. Oh my god. Oh fuck. What? Woo! We got one! I'm excited, buddy! I'm excited! Oh! What the fuck? Woo, that's what I'm talking about, baby! Merlin, we got one! We got one, buddy! Oh, good boy!
Help! I'm being robbed!
Well, this is awkward.